Hi, welcome to Simply Country Cuisine. Well, today's video is a very old recipe. It's a chocolate peanut butter drop cookie with oatmeal in it. And I know that my father's mother, Grandma Opal, she had a lot of children, and this was one of the cookies that she made. So I'm somewhere in the 60s, I won't tell you where. So, and she was my grandma, so that tells you how old this recipe is. So what I've done already is I have put in my mixing bowl here, I put 3 cups of quick oats, 1/4 of a teaspoon of table salt. I don't prefer to use kosher salt in this. I do like to use table salt in this. All right, so in this small saucepan, over a medium heat, I'm going to whisk together a 1/2 cup of butter, which is a stick of butter, 2 cups of granulated white sugar, now before I add the other ingredients, I want to kind of blend the butter and the sugar together. And I have this, again, on an electric eye stove, so I've got it about 5. Now you can see I've kind of combined all of the sugar and the butter together. Now if I were to take this down to a real melt, it would turn to caramel. That I'm not going to do. So now I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of whole milk, and I specify whole milk in this one. Sometimes we can skimp, we can replace, we can use alternatives, but there are some recipes that have been around so long. Don't change them, because you're compromising the taste, you're compromising the authenticity of the recipe. I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of Hershey's powdered cocoa. And I'm putting it in now because what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk this together, then I'm going to bring it to a boil, setting my timer for 1 minute. Then I'm going to remove it from the heat. I don't want it to come to a hard candy ball stage. I want it to be a soft. But I'm putting my cocoa in now. Now I'm just going to whisk, and when it comes to a boil, then I'm going to set the timer. My granddaughter Jaden, she could make these. She's 17 years old. She could easily make one of these. We're right in the middle of hot July, and we're in Texas. So I'm going to tell you, not turning the oven on to make a treat is a treat. Now, I do have this whisked together. I'm going to stand here and watch it. I don't want it to stick. I don't want it to burn, but I do want it to come to a boil. And stay very close to it, because once it does boil, I'm going to continue whisking. All I'm doing now is just making sure all of the sugar is off the bottom of the pan. Maybe see some very faint bubbles popping in there. That's not a boil, that's coming to a boil. I'll give it a little whisk, because I want to create an evenness in the heat of the pan. And I'll stop whisking. I'm going to now stand here and watch this until it does come to a boil. This is a quick made cookie, and after you add the peanut butter and the oats to it, you really need to be quick spooning it out, because it'll harden in the pan. So what I did was I took some wax paper, and on my little cabinet behind me, I've lined the cabinet with wax paper, and I'm going to let them cool on that. It's now starting to come to a boil. I'm going to set my timer for 1 minute. Now, as soon as that timer goes off, I'm scooting this over to a cold burner. I'm adding 2 teaspoons of a good vanilla, stirring that in. I'm adding 1 cup of creamy peanut butter. This is Peter Pan peanut butter. Now, mix that in while the chocolate's really hot. It'll mix real fast. Okay, now this is the part where you work quickly. Remember, I have 3 cups of quick oats in here and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Dump this into your chocolate mixture. Fold it in really well, or stir it. Well, you can see it's already starting to stick to the pan. I brought my pot over to the counter. I've got my wax paper here. I used I would imagine that's maybe 2 tablespoons, but I used a spoon that I would use to serve like mashed potatoes with. And then we're just going to dollop them on the wax paper. You could easily use a cookie scoop. I'll tell you why I don't. I think it's harder to clean because it's at that point it's already gotten hard in the spoon. I mean in the pot. And these babies are really hot right now, so you don't want to sample them. So you can see as I'm doing this, the oatmeal chocolate mixture is firming up in the pan. That's why you have to work quickly. I take treat sometimes on Wednesday to church, and this is a good treat to take in the summertime. Everyone loves chocolate. Everyone likes peanut butter. We have small groups about 3 times a year in our church. We just are finishing up our summer small groups. At any one of the Glad Tidings locations, we have 5 buildings, 5 locations, 1 church. Please come and join us. We would love to have you. Just about got all of this out. Probably enough for 1 more spoonful. And we did. Now you can tell, see this is already hardening up. Now, if you wanted to, you could smash them down a little bit. I think they harden a little bit better that way. And there you have it. Chocolate, oatmeal, peanut butter, no-bake cookies. Great summertime treat. So always remember to subscribe and like and share our videos on YouTube to be alerted of our next video. On Wednesdays we air, and on Thursdays we have Contest Thursdays. Please join us on Facebook. I would love to have some new winners, and we've almost reached our 200 mark we were hoping for by the end of June, but we're still pushing. So please join us, connect, and God bless. Have a safe, cool summer.